Hi, my name is Ariana Wallace, and today I'm going to be talking about something a little bit on the morbid side, but something that I find incredibly interesting, serial killers. The FBI defines a serial killer as a series of 3 or more killings committed by the same person or group of people. Serial killings have been something that have been around for a very long time. They're just more common now because we are starting to get more technology that is able to help us find the serial killers that have been around for a very, very long time. One of the most common serial killers that people think of that goes all the way back to the 1800s is Jack the Ripper. With new technology, we've been able to find out more about him, and there's more books being released about him. We haven't quite figured out 100% who he is. There have been some speculation that it's possibly Sherlock Holmes. And they think that because Sherlock Holmes was the only person that investigated the case, and he investigated it the whole time that it was going on, and he was the only one that knew details, and so they think that he is possibly one. And there's other people that they have speculation, but they're not 100% sure. But with new technology, we've been able to get closer and closer. The thing I find most interesting about serial killers is that, in a way, they are different from the rest of us, if not completely different from the rest of us. It is fascinating to me that they can just be normal people that you think walk on the street, and they have so much wrong with them and so much going on. One of the most popular questions that people have about serial killers is it born, or are they made into a serial killer? The answer is often a mixture of both. In some cases, individuals are born with antisocial personality disorder, which causes them a disregard for others' well or morals, and a lot of the individuals always will become, or not always will become a serial killer, but they often have mental makeup that tend to have them go more towards the serial killer side. Now, a lot of people, if you look at a lot of the serial killers that have been around, a lot of them did not have good home lives, and then some of them did. So that's why the question is back and forth, is were they born or were they made? If you look at Ted Bundy, he was definitely born, or definitely made into a serial killer, as he did not have a very close relationship with his mother. And if you don't have a close relationship with your mother by the time you were 6, or have any kind of bond emotional bond by the time you were 6, you tend to become a serial killer. And that's not all the time, because but it's a dissociative detachment disorder is what a lot of serial killers have, and that's aka Ted Bundy, who's one of the most famous serial killers known today. He had that. Now, there are a lot of shows like Criminal Minds and Mindhunters that do show and shed some light on serial killers, and that are, they get caught throughout the show, and they get caught, and it's definitely just with some good police working. The show Mindhunters actually goes into detail about how the the behavioral analysis unit, was created, and how they coined the term serial killer. It goes and they talk with people such as Ed Kemper, who is still alive today out in California. He's 74 years old, probably 75. He is still alive today out in California. They have talked to him. They actually had a conversation with Charles Manson, which I know technically he's not a serial killer, but he did lead a group of serial killers. They also talked to people like the Night Stalker, who was Richard Ramirez, and he, shot people, both men and women. But those shows definitely shed some light on the things, and there are times that serial killers don't get caught, like the Zodiac Killer, who they still don't know if he is alive today. They don't know who ever was. They have hints, and they have people that they might think did it, but they weren't 100% sure. They also have, like I said, Jack the Ripper and the Long Island serial killer. But there are always times where they do get caught, which is definitely on the positive side, as, the Golden State Killer was caught after decades. There wasn't any progress in his case whatsoever, and a member of his family took a DNA test and connected her DNA to the case file, and it turned out that he ended up being a serial killer after all these years. But that's just one of the many ways that technology has definitely advanced and helped show more serial killers in the United States. Definitely serial killers are a dark part of our humanity. There's much to be learned and gained about them. According to The Atlantic, which is a news article, serial killers get away with their crimes over 40% of the time. So not quite half, but definitely a lot more than you would think. The number of active serial killers in this country is between 2,100 and 3,000. So there are a lot more serial killers that still need to be found and still are out there. As I conclude, I just want to thank everyone for giving me the time to speak and teach you about the evil that lurks within our society, and to just draw your attention to some of the things that people, not really topic that everyone talks about. So again, thank you.